What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video I'd like to go over the current state of the crypto markets. Everybody's feeling, and maybe not everybody, but a lot of people are feeling a bit uncertain. Their faith is shaken in the crypto markets. Some people are calling for, and a lot of people actually are calling for, the bear market to have begun. I'm going to go over some interesting prospects and even events in this video that will likely generate higher prices across the board over the coming weeks, let alone the coming months. If that sounds good to you, hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get into it. Okay, so first and foremost, I actually want to pull up the, is this the others chart? Yeah, the others chart here. And I don't want to go over the charts too much. I'm not looking to do technical analysis here. I want to point out this white line on October 29th for the others chart and for the Bitcoin chart as well. Do you guys know what October 29th is? October 29th is the day that the FOMC will announce rate cuts. That the Fed will announce rate cuts. They're having an FOMC meeting. It's the press conference announcement day. The 29th is whenever they're going to announce that they're going to cut rates, and they absolutely will be cutting rates, you guys. In fact, let's see here. There's one thing I was looking at here. Fed rate cut. Fed Governor Mirren wants a half-point cut this month, which would be more than what we saw the last rate cut, right, which was 25 basis points. He wants 50 basis points cut this month, is what it sounds like. They're calling for more, right? Fed Waller's on board for an October rate cut as Mirren again presses for aggressively. He wants the rate cut to be cut aggressively. Jerome Powell, though, is very transparent. They're pretty damn transparent. And I think what's to be expected at this point is another 25 basis points. I don't think that we're going to get a 50 basis points or 75 basis points or anything crazy, right? We're just going to get a 25 basis points because Jerome Powell knows, as well as all of you should, if you're watching this channel, you know that cutting interest rates slowly is actually beneficial for the markets. I theorize that between now and the announcement, we will see Bitcoin move up. We will see the average altcoin move up, right? This is our altcoin index chart right here. The average altcoin will move up as well going into this event, right? The last event that we had was on the 18th of September. You can see here, we did move up into this event as well. And then we moved down afterwards. The last event was on the 18th, right? That was the announcement. It was on the 18th, and we cut 25 basis points. A lot of people were thinking we'd get 50 points or more, and I was telling you guys it'd be 25, just like I'm telling you now. It's only going to be 25. We pumped up into it, and then we sold off afterwards. I think it's important to realize the relationship here, the pump going into it and the dump afterwards, right? Typically, in these moments where the Federal Reserve does cut rates, it is positive. It is net positive overall. We should be growing. And the fact that we've actually come down like this, this has nothing to do with the Fed, right? This is everything to do with liquidations, with longs, over leveraged positions getting stopped out, getting hunted, and being cleared out. That's what this is. We had $20 billion in longs at the top here, cleared out $19 billion. There was $19 billion in liquidations. The market makers did their work and they got paid. That's all this is, right? Now things have shifted. Instead of it being long heavy over the last 30 days, we are short side heavy. We are very heavy on the shorts. $18 billion in shorts right now over the past 30 days. I very much believe that we're going to find a focal point soon where things turn around, where we do begin to grow again, and we again grow not just because of the longs and the shorts, but because of the FOMC meeting, because of the announcement that we're going to be seeing rate cuts here. And again, I would think that just like last time, we probably pump into it and then might find some turbulence afterwards. So plan accordingly, okay? And typically you actually don't see this kind of behavior where you do dump down this much afterwards. Typically we just we move sideways, we might move down a little bit, but we don't see this intense of a reaction after rate cuts. Typically you see a little shakeout and then you continue to grow. So I'm expecting going into the 28th, 29th, we'll be moving up. A little bit of turbulence might be had, and then I would expect we continue to grow going into the rest of November as well. I think that November is going to be a really good month. Okay, and that's important to focus on because here at these low points, the negative aspects of crypto, the negative aspects of the market are really pronounced. They're very, very loud and even misleading at times, right? There's a lot of, I wouldn't say crypto OGs, but there's some crypto OGs, but there's a lot of, let's say, popular people in the crypto space, some famous people in the crypto space who I'm not going to name, but they are shouting from the mountaintops that the bull market is over, that this is the beginning of the bear market, that we are going to go lower. You guys, none of the key indicators that any crypto OG respects, that any actual analyst respects, none of these cycle top indicators have signaled. Not a single one has signaled yet. We have more bull market to go. Absolutely we do. And make no mistake, we know for a fact that we're at the low points. If not the low itself, we're at low points here in this overall consolidation phase, because out of this whole time, out of this whole entire megaphone pattern that we're in right now, where we have higher highs and lower lows, out of this whole entire consolidation phase, it's only here at the lows that the news is negative in droves. It's literally negative, right? We have misleading titles. Retail buyers lost $17 billion on Bitcoin hype after stock crash. Is that true? Is that true? Do we have the data? No, we don't. They literally make this up. Retail investors have lost an estimated $17 billion, estimated. So first off, it's they did lose this, and then it's estimated. And now it's in an attempt to gain Bitcoin exposure through digital asset treasury firms such as Metaplanet, whatever. According to a new research report, a brand new research report. Where is the report? Where's this link to this research report? Who's the one that did it? Cite it. There's no citing. But then they cite a quote here. Then they say the age of financial magic is ending for Bitcoin. And this is from analysts at Singapore-based 10x Research, right? So they've got that cited, but they don't have this research report cited that's new that suggests that 17. It's because it's BS. They made up a number. They're getting big headlines out there so that people read it and they're scared and they panic and they sell at the lows. I don't want that to be you guys. I want you to be prepared. I don't want you to be scared, okay? Bitcoin news, if you type it in, you look at it, you're going to see nothing but negative stuff. Nothing but negative stuff. Even this, I think this is dumb, talking about misleading titles, right? Anonymity questions. U.S. seizures of tycoons, $13 billion in Bitcoin. So $13 billion in Bitcoin was seized, and now that raises anonymity questions. If you're investing in Bitcoin, if you know anything about Bitcoin, Bitcoin is transparent. It's the most transparent form of money that we have, literally. If it's not that it raises anonymity questions, it's that this is a good title to use for the negative side of things, because Zcash has been pumping. Privacy coins, anonymous transactions have been a popular topic of discussion in the crypto markets. So they're just saying stuff like this. It raises anonymity questions. Bitcoin was never anonymous. If you're using Bitcoin to do crime, you're going to get found out. You're silly. This is stupid. This is just, again, it's just a way to spin negative things. Talking about the Chinese company, that's actually a positive thing, not a negative thing. But talking about the Trumps, the Donald Trump's and China's tariff war, trade war kicking off as well is also BS, right? We had a bunch of tariffs announced on the 1st of August. Literally on the 1st of August, this week right here, we had a bunch of tariffs that came out, and we moved up. We actually saw new all-time highs not but a week later, okay? Tariffs, you guys, I don't know if anybody's been able to tell at this point, but everybody who's been saying that tariffs are negative or that they hurt the economy, we've actually proven that to not be true. They actually improved the economy. We have such surplus of reserves from these tariffs that Donald Trump's actually going to give out stimulus checks to anybody who's paying taxes, right? Like $1,000 to $2,000 stimulus checks for every single American taxpayer. That's pretty incredible, right? So tariffs, we know, and the proof is in the pudding, are not bad for the economy. That's not, at least not the way that we're doing it here. That's not why this drop happened. Again, this news, it's all there to just justify some BS that happened, guys. They were stop hunting. They were hunting out any and all long liquidation levels, clearing people out, taking their money, and now all these negative news articles are coming out to try and justify it. That's not what's happening here. So don't, and again, make no mistake. It's no mistake that the news, that CNBC has been more consistently negative over the past 2 days, that all these major news articles have been more consistently bearish on Bitcoin and crypto over the past 2 days than they have in this whole entire range. And the reason why is because we're at the bottom. We're at the bottom. Every time the news is loud, every time that the news is super negative, it's always at the lows. It's never at the highs, right? It's positive at the highs. It's even positive in the middles. But the most negative that the news has been, tell me if I'm wrong, since July, it's here. It's at the lows. The most negative that we've seen in this whole consolidation phase has been right here, literally right here. It's no mistake at all. I feel like the news even right now is actually more negative today on the 18th than it was on the 10th, which is wild, which is absolutely wild. Federal Reserve is going to cut rates. We're definitely getting that on the 29th. There's, when I say definitely, I mean it would just be completely very uncalled for if the Federal Reserve did not cut interest rates on the 29th. It's very expected to happen. And just because it's a lot of things in this market when they're expected to happen, that actually means they're less likely to happen. With interest rates, the Fed is pretty transparent. When they say something's going to happen, it's going to happen. And we know that interest rates are not just going to get cut on the 29th, but we know that they're also going to get cut in December as well. We're getting cuts every single FOMC meeting between now and the end of this year, and probably even going into 2026 as well. Jerome Powell has said that, actually. He's very much hinted at that. You go to crypto news, not just Bitcoin news, but it's all negative, right? And this right here, you click on this. This is just that Trump-China tariff wars. That's all it is. And they always say Trump. They never say U.S. They say Trump versus China, but they never say U.S. versus China, right? It's just this guy. It's not us versus them. It's just him, right? And it's not him versus she. It's just him versus them. It's kind of funny how they do this. Fear returns to crypto markets. Wall Street races to sell risky ETFs because we did see some outflows in ETFs this week. BS titles like this, $300 trillion worth of stablecoins in technical error. Nobody got $300 trillion in stablecoins. Nobody did. That's the power of blockchain, is that if there are errors like this, they can roll it back. It's all transparent and trackable, traceable. Nobody got $300 trillion in stablecoins. This is just BS, right? And again, the news is not here to help you. It's here to engage you. You can read through all these articles, all the news that you want, and justify that we're seeing these low prices all you want. But the reality of the matter is that every single time that we see negative news to this degree, we're actually at a very low point. The fear and greed index, speaking of which, is at some of the lowest points that we've seen. Not just this fear and greed index, but the alternate, this one too, right? Let's see. Crypto fear and greed index right here. Put these side by side next to each other. Let this one load up. Let this one load up. Fear and greed index literally at the lowest levels we've seen it since April, which was Bitcoin's last significant low point, right? Back here. This is April, right here. We're at the lowest levels in fear and greed. We have the highest levels of fear here that we've had since here. The news is the most negative on crypto and the economy that it's been here since it was back here, right? When everybody was only focused on the tariffs and how bad they were and all this stuff, right? It's very similar circumstances that we're in right now, right? You look at the alternate.me fear and greed index. It's at a 23. I don't like this one as much. I don't think it's as dynamic, but if we look at the past year, the last time we were down here, again, was April. It was literally in April. That was the last time we were at these lows. So I very much believe that we're going to see some recovery here. I'm not phased at all. I hope that nobody's phased. And I'm making this video. I'm making videos like this somewhat regularly right now because I don't want to see people make the wrong decisions. I don't want to see you guys panic sell the bottom. You might be hearing James Wynn talking about the end of the cycle and that we're going to back test 70K or 80K or 50K or whatever. Andrew Tate saying that we're going to go to 26K. Your favorite analysts, your favorite degens, whoever they might be, influencers talking about the price going below 100K. It's not going to happen. We are, and again, I want to say this very clearly. Bitcoin, it's not that it won't go below 100K for the rest of this cycle. It will never go below 100K again, ever, period. It's not going to happen. There's too much demand. There's too many institutions buying. And yes, we had an outflow of funds this week in ETFs. Net overall, we've had massive inflows for ETFs, right? We saw record-breaking volume on Monday, the day after this crash happened, right? So I think that the negative news is hitting everybody. People are panicking. We have high levels of fear, and whenever emotions are high, we don't make the best decisions. And again, that's really the main essence of why I'm making this video, is that we have the FOMC meeting coming up on the 29th of this month. It's 11 days away. The low is very near or here. It might be right here, right now. If it's not right here, right now, it'll be tomorrow. If it's not tomorrow, it's the next day. If it's not the next day, it's somewhere between now and like the next 3 days, we're going to have our low. And then we're going to be moving up. Why? Because FOMC, interest rates are cutting. Markets are bullish on interest rates cutting. Why? Because it's cheaper to lend money. If it's cheaper to lend money, people can borrow money. That's a way financial advisors and entrepreneurs and people who are heavily involved with Wall Street, whenever you see interest rates coming down, they see that as the Federal Reserve saying, hey, it's time for risk on. Risk on means investing in cryptocurrency, investing in commodities, investing period, right? Putting your money to work. Where if it's risk off, it means taking your money and holding on to it so that nobody takes it away from you, or that no investments lose you money, right? That's the environment that we're in right now. This cutting of rates consistently from the last FOMC meeting to this one, and even to the next one, and probably the one after that, this consistency of rate cuts coming in. Anybody who's been in the financial atmosphere, the financial space for any amount of time at this point, really, knows that this is conducive to a very positive run going forward for all the markets, for all markets. So let alone gold moving up at a rapid pace. And every time we see gold do this kind of behavior in the relationship with Bitcoin, Bitcoin rallies, let alone the M2 money supply, let alone the business cycles about to kick off, all these positive macroeconomic things that are shaping up, that we're right on the pinnacle of seeing increases in price and growth from. We're right here. But again, I think that the main purpose is to just say, don't freak out now. The news is negative. People are loud. The bears are loud. And if you want to find a reason to sell, they're going to give it to you on a silver platter. Hold, hodl, buy the dip, if anything. Double down on the projects that you're the most certain of. Not new projects. Don't go look. And it's okay to look for new projects. It's okay to invest in new things that you haven't, spread your allocations out. Spread your portfolio out to different allocations. That's fine. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Do whatever you want. But I think now is the time to double down on the things that you are sure of. Now is the time to double down on the projects that you're very aware of the fundamentals, that you believe in, that you have conviction in, because they are not going to let you down over the coming weeks, over the coming months. That's all I have to say. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Take care of your bags. Don't let them go. Bye-bye.